Ashley Barrett, your CEO's CEO.
I got loyalty inside my DNA. Cocaine for the beat, now war and peace inside my DNA. I got power poison.
Hello everybody, it's me, Maeve the Human, yet again your favorite CEO, coming to you once again with another take on our favorite character from The Boys, Ashley Barrett. This time we are delving into season 4, an incredibly evolutionary season for Ashley's character. She starts out as CEO, she's in the full swing of it, and we're about to premiere the Met Gala of Ashley's wardrobe for the episodes to come. If you want Mr. YouTube to smile upon me favorably, feel free to punch that like button or subscribe to me if you want to hear me posting about stuff in the future. But without further ado, let's premiere the runway of Ashley Barrett Season 4. Ashley Barrett was introduced to us on day 1 as a bright-eyed, lower-caliber employee at Vought International who genuinely cared about her job and doing well at it. Now, seasons later, she has achieved the feat of survival amongst these maniacs who dispose of people left and right. She has made it this far due to her lethal competency, her prodigious ability to market psycho soups, and her constant fight-or-flight to remain essential to Homelander. Ashley has received promotion after promotion, climbing the corporate ladder all the way to the top, now as CEO of Vought International. We saw her ease into this in season 3, but now in season 4, where she starts out as CEO, the concept of power fluctuates greatly for her in this next season. Though she is CEO in name, she eventually becomes only there for decor and public appearances. She doesn't have a final say on anything truly, basically just serving hand over foot to appease the increasingly unstable Homelander. Through the mounting pressure of her position, Ashley turns to the sharpest weapon in her artillery: her sense of style. She overcompensates this false sense of control through her heightened fashion choices. By looking well put together through confident, eye-catching fits, she maintains her pretend state of power and influence at Vought. Ashley, now in season 4, has truly reached her final form. Since her transition to CEO of Vought last season, she has faced peril and insane circumstances to be where she is now. And with Vought usually doing away with a CEO once a season, it is incredible to see her still standing 4 seasons later. Ashley has been lifted up, torn down, tossed around, and now transformed into the hardened warrior who is determined to keep her place and do her job in the face of the shitstorm that is Vought. She reclaimed power by saving Maeve last season without anyone knowing, and her position of power still remains what it is: power. She still has the responsibility of keeping things afloat and is still a major influence on how Vought will deal with things going forward. At this point, she has now gotten comfortable as CEO. In the face of all that has happened to her, instead of breaking and crumbling, she's facing all of this with a sense of empowerment, troubleshooting bullshit, and looking like a stone-cold businesswoman with her own unapologetic flair. She's not afraid of being seen this season. She's CEO, and we see her embracing the role through her bold wardrobe choices. Fashion continues to this point to serve as a weapon for her. Ashley is coming in hot this season with a neon orange suit and matching slacks, and the same shade of orange for the undershirt. For her earrings, they're like large sun-like ornamental dangles, and her makeup is fleek. Okay, she looks like a traffic cone. She looks like an Aztec god. I love her. She thanks Homelander for saving her life, which is completely false. She wasn't even in the building because of Huey's announcement announcement. But she wants to just suck up as much as she can to him. Ashley jumps right into it, announcing that they need to start replacing the 3 missing members of the 7. They are now the 4, unfortunately. Oh wait, 3? Are they the 3? That's terrible. Starlight, translucent. Oh, no. Oh, that's right. Okay, so Black Noir, he might have died, but they replaced his ass because you can't see his face. So they just got some random dude to replace him. And we learned more about him, but it is so funny to see him talk. So they are the 4, and that means they have 3 spots to fill. So Ashley begins this PowerPoint presentation of all of the potential candidates. She gives her first suggestion, Talon, who the deep comments is a butterface. Ashley retorts this, calling him, some sort of insult. I won't repeat. And then she goes to the next one and then immediately says a horrible derogatory thing about her appearance and body, showing the hypocrisy. One of the next candidates is Sage, who gets Homelander's attention, but no one else really seems to notice this. Ashley then next introduced Wrangler, who's convicted of killing innocent migrants. So Homelander's like, I like him, sort of deadpan. But Ashley, who previously admonished him, then once he said that, switches on a dime and is like, I like him, sir, very good. This is demonstrating how her opinion is completely meaningless. She's never going to express it, and she will never do anything other than agree to him to his face. She continues to brown nose to an excessive degree, which makes everyone cringe. With groveling comes no respect. Homelander, in the face of his frustration, then snaps, suddenly stating that he's surrounded by suck-ups and idiots. He then decides to command A-Train and the Deep to perform a sexual act. And this actually seems to start to go down, much to Ashley's delight. We see her face. Ashley's confidence is truly a tool for her because she is not easily intimidated at all by sexual conquest or even degradation from others. In fact, she shows sort of a proclivity and enthusiasm when those sort of things are initiated. Ashley awaits with bated breath. It starts to actually happen, and Homelander then stops them and humiliates them with the fact that they were actually gonna go through with it. So he just storms out and is like, I have to carry this whole company on my shoulders. And Ashley, poor girl, answers that he's right, with an upward question at the end. So she's searching for his approval. She's trying to affirm any sort of a positive reaction for him, but at the same time is reaffirming the suck-up part. This is a learning moment for Homelander to understand that fear does not equal respect. So he walks out anyway without answering. He cannot object because she said all the right things. Everyone is so terrified of him that all they do is just mindlessly agree to everything that he says, not challenging or even contributing to his plans. His narcissism is raging extra now that he is surrounded by spineless suck-ups, and he feels a void where natural rapport and relationship should be. In episode 2, we first see Ashley in her office in a meeting with her 2 idiot script writers as they're giving a pitch for Ryan's first big movie starring as Homelander's son. Our Ashley is wearing a white iridescent matching pantsuit with a very particular undershirt that had me double taking because at first glance I genuinely thought that they were suspender pants that attached to the bottoms, but no. Upon closer inspection, you can see that undertop has vertical stripes of skin-toned translucent fabric that hints at her underbreast. Quite the scandalous undershirt for the office, but what else would we expect from our baddie? For her earrings, she has donned large silver hoops that complement the outfit and bring it to an overall sheen of iridescent nature. Ashley attempts to support the movie pitch, but is immediately shot down by Sister Sage, who is also revealed to be at the meeting. Sister Sage is now shadowing Homelander wherever he goes, as he has recently recruited her because apparently he is sick of being surrounded by suck-ups and idiots. And there is some truth to that, because everyone is so terrified of him that no one will just level with him and challenge his ideas. Homelander is floundering on his own because he is all show with no substance. He relies on looks, lies, and physical intimidation to keep things running. But when he found himself behind the wheel, he quickly realized that he lacks the strategical competency and business intellect to keep Vought running as a whole. He needed somebody to do all of the thinking for him, so he is now defaulting to Sister Sage to call all of the shots. He relies on her superhuman intellect to be a reliable justification for always siding with her decisions, as he assumes that they are always the smartest ones, even if he doesn't completely understand them at the time. So, in all intents and purposes, it seems as though Sister Sage is now Homelander's right-hand man. Now, of course, this is a huge problem for Ashley, because if Sister Sage is the one, calling the shots and making all these decisions for Homelander, then what the hell is she there for? So she now feels very threatened by Sister Sage's appearance and the fact that she's now taking over the ship. A crucial shot of Ashley. She witnesses for herself this essential bond between Sister Sage and Homelander, and how he is actually listening to her, which is unfathomable that someone is able to in any way rein him in. Sage was brought in by Homelander because he believes that Ashley and the other underlings are stupid and lesser than. And Ashley will not stand for this. She has a furious leveled glare at the situation. She understands the stakes and how she now needs to fight for her position right now. Then, before leaving the room, Sage then addresses Ashley directly. She says, "I'm here because Homelander wants me here, because he trusts me. AKA, I'm replacing you." She says it in a direct, confrontational, unapologetic manner that there is no room for misinterpretation. She doesn't care whether Homelander is there or not. She speaks the truth with no fear, which is sort of why Homelander brought her there. But once Sage leaves the room, Ashley is hot on her tail, okay? So Sage is in the elevator and we hear Ashley before we see her. The sound of her sprinting in heels has become a part of her brand. She makes it in time, forcing the doors open the way that she is forcing the conversation. She then smiles sardonically before taking her place beside Sage. But in the quiet of the elevator, Ashley reveals that she is attempting to give authentic advice to Sister Sage, warning her that she cannot talk to Homelander that way, perhaps coming from a place of genuine concern, warning her about the fact that she has experience with how unstable Homelander can be. Sage's reply is one of unconcern, saying that she's just telling the truth. She then flippantly insults Ashley, saying that she's so scared of Homelander that she plucked herself bald, and that perhaps she should make herself useful, maybe letting Homelander, suck on her titties like Madeline Stillwell. This accomplishes several things at the same time. One, that Sage is not intimidated at all by Ashley nor Homelander, and also that she knows everything. Either Homelander gave her the scoop or she sort of deduced it on her own. So there's nothing that Ashley knows that Sage doesn't. But in that moment, the Deep then enters the elevator, making it a trio. He greets Ashley, saying, "Just the girl boss I wanted to see." I mean, accurate, but she doesn't want to hear it from him. He then pitches a quick idea to her that he be a guest star in Ryan's first save. Ashley retorts that he is still on the bestiality watch list, and he doesn't really have a response to this. Ashley then, in response, makes a very interesting statement. She looks ahead of her. She doesn't look at either of them, almost like she's not talking to anyone in particular, but she definitely is. She says that stupid people that think that they are smart make me want to eat my own shit. Now, why would she make this statement about stupid people in general instead of a direct insult to the deep? That's because this statement was as much for Sister Sage as it was for the deep. Sage just made Ashley feel inferior, especially intellectually, and now she's lashing out by visibly establishing intellectual dominance over the deep to somehow regain that sense of power. She wants to reinforce this to Sage by openly insulting the deep's intelligence in the third person in a crude manner. She then leaves the elevator without a word. This leaves Sage and the deep alone in the elevator to continue talking. Sage asks him immediately why he lets her talk to him like that. He then replies that, she's just a bitch and she's probably just on her period. A very dismissive response that reveals that maybe the deep has never fixated on Ashley's insults before or really taken them to heart. Sage then strategically goes on to boast about his superiority to Ashley because he is genetically superior and can totally put her in her place with his physical intimidation. Now, this is a very calculated move, followed by her complimenting his idea and reaffirming that his opinion has value, encouragement that he has gone so far without that he honestly forgot that it was an option. The fact that he just received a completely different positive reaction to his ideas brings into question if his ideas may be actually good, then it's Ashley who is the source of opposition and tearing them down. In the past, the one to repeatedly put him in his place. This concept has now been planted within the deep by Sister Sage deliberately and causes a critical shift in the power dynamic between him and Ashley. Later that day, the deep approaches Ashley at yet again another film set where he starts out quietly but hesitantly starts to set a boundary for the first time against Ashley's verbal abuse. And he clumsily attempts to repeat Sage's words. It doesn't come out the same, and Ashley does her signature backlash of, a retort that's hilarious. This triggers the deep, who then in a flash is suddenly in her face as a form of physical confrontation. He then tells her that he is the Lord of the Seven Seas, and that if she ever talks to him that way again, he will drown her in her toilet after he's used it. Ashley is visibly shocked by this change of attitude from the deep, who has never had the awareness nor the intellect to stand up for himself before. This physical intimidation tactic is similar to that to Homelander. Ashley has always been aware of the deep's physical superiority over her, just like any other soup, but his lack of intellect and his very non-threatening, simple nature never really led to much of a threat for her. But now that Sage has pointed out to him that he could harm her effortlessly at any time and receive almost no consequences for it, she is now in mortal danger. This hostile logic that has only previously really applied to Homelander has now been extended to practically every soup. And now she's being made to kneel before the biggest idiot out of all of them. This is a very low bar that she never thought that she would find herself at. Oh, how the tables have tabled. Now the deep is the one putting Ashley in her place through fear and intimidation. Shocked, she is cowed into submission and quietly leaves, leaving the deep just as shocked with the result as we are. Season 4, Episode 3. We first see Ashley in the main 7 meeting room, briefing with Black Noir, who is just some random acting dude who's talking and pressing Ashley for more details about Black Noir's character so he could get more into the part. But Ashley doesn't really give him much to work with. Our Ashley is wearing a stunning blazer and skirt matching set of the most extravagant flame pattern. She looks like Guy Fieri a little bit, and she also has black heels and these beautiful dangly multi-hoop silver earrings. She looks like the host of Chopped. She's about to be the one chopped because Homelander then promptly dismisses her from the room, saying that they're about to have a meeting. She protests because she's the CEO, but Homelander then informs her in no uncertain terms that Sister Sage will now be taking over for her entire workload and duties as CEO. Now, this look is too poetic. Ashley is wearing a flame-patterned suit to her own firing. Her outfit mirrors her situation as she's now being burned out of the group and discarded by Homelander. While covered in flames, Ashley asks if she is being fired. Homelander doesn't answer, instead looking to Sage to answer for him. She says, of course not, which he echoes. She says that the Seven still need a mascot figurehead, like Ronald McDonald or Bucky Beaver, very intentionally belittling comparisons. Basically, Ashley has now been stripped of all of her responsibilities and duties at Vought, other than her just reading lines to the public like a marionette. The pale semblance of pretend influence that she had within Vought is now gone, replaced now as just a puppet figurehead, if even that. She has now been kicked out of the inner circle and banned from any sort of decision-making. They said, "You can't sit with us." Ashley is devastated and humiliated by this news. She gathers up her many belongings and binders of presentations that she had prepared, now dismissed. On her way out, they cruelly call after her, causing her to jump and drop her many things. She then is asked to go find Ryan, basically now the new legman for basic tasks again, just like how she first started. Her dropping her things is absolutely not an accident. In doing so, she then gets on her knees on the floor to pick up the items. This puts her at a de-elevated status, literally on her knees in her newfound helpless servitude. With no longer the illusion of her higher status position, she's a human. If she disobeys, they will kill her without hesitation. She knows this. They know this. Ashley continues to drop her things, showing off her disheveled and frantic state in light of, in all intents and purposes, being fired. Later, we see her processing this news in her office. She's clearing out the room of her things, basically just drawers and drawers full of sex toys. It's also important to note that she has on her knee-high dominatrix boots in this scene, compared to last time we saw her with her simple black heels. She talks out loud, ranting and raving about how she has given literally everything to this job. I haven't had a doctor's appointment in 3 fucking years. I've had enough yeast infections to open a Panera. I don't need this. I went to Vanderbilt. Ashley has given her personal life, health, and well-being to the sacrifice of her position at Vought, with my theory that she eats, sleeps, and changes within the building. She fought her way to the top of the corporate ladder at Vought, tooth and nail, through hard work and dedication, sacrifice of her personal life, only to now be torn down and discarded. While she talks, it cuts to reveal Cameron, her submissive and the news anchor at Vought, bound to the floor as her submissive, commenting on how she should leave a floater in his toilet, that it's actually more satisfying than she would think. Her comeback is lightning fast and cutthroat.
Did I give you permission to talk, you f***ing prom night dumpster baby?
In this scene, we see how Ashley is still establishing control in her life by continuing to dominate her male submissives. She begins coaching herself on how she now intends to quit, because Disney has been trying to recruit her for years, apparently, and she has a glowing resume for countless opportunities out there. If only Disney could score an asset like Ashley Barrett, you know she would whip that company back into shape and a away from the edge it's steadily going towards. But that's tea for maybe another video. As she considers the possibility, she tastes freedom, no matter how delusional. She reminds herself that I'm a goddamn girl boss. Now, this may be a reference to Deep addressing her as such in the previous episode, but it may be a coincidence. The idea of her leaving Vought on a professional scale, once she considers it a possibility, begins to surge her with excitement. Later in the episode, we see Ashley gathered with Homelander, Sage, and Annika, the head of security, in her office, discussing any potential contact that Starlight has tried to make to the security team. Showing a visible fear of consequence, Homelander then swears that no harm will come to her and swears on his son Ryan. She looks to Ashley for guidance, who then returns a small nod of encouragement to her. She's betting on Homelander meaning it if he's bringing Ryan into it. Annika then hesitantly reveals to them that she did in fact receive a phone call from Starlight. But before she can even finish her sentence, Homelander callously and brutally lasers her goddamn brains out without her even being able to scream. Just in the blink of an eye, absolutely discards her life without a thought. A dirty lie that exposes the tainted honor that he just staked on Ryan, only to immediately cast all meaning of that aside, showing off his true psychopathy. Ashley is horrified by this, and Sage is merely annoyed because Homelander is impulsive and just petty. They had more information to hear from her, but this just again highlights how unpredictable Homelander can be. This is especially devastating to Ashley because she had a sort of relationship with this Annika girl who partnered with Ashley in order to arrange Maeve's secret escape. With Annika now dead, that leaves Ashley as the only person left at Vought who knows that Maeve is still alive. Now, this moment is a wake-up call for Ashley. Any illusions whatsoever that this is in any way a professional setting with the option of walking away from it are now gone. Ashley knew that if she messed up at her job that she would be killed for it, but she wasn't completely certain about what would happen if she tried to simply leave it by walking away on her good professional terms. Now she realizes this was never an option. Ashley has been here since day one as Vought's #1 crisis management supervisor. She's been cleaning up after all these soups for years, meaning that she knows all their dirty laundry, including Homelander's. Having that much dirt on them without her being a servant hand over foot under their complete control is completely unacceptable to them. Up till now, she has been a tool for them, and when she is no longer needed by them, then her life ends. Point blank. Period. There is no leaving Vought for her. If she tries, Homelander will give her a severance package of her brains on the wall. There is no possibility of her moving on in her career or even her life. She is a hostage in every sense of the word. Once she has processed all of this, we see Ashley again at her desk in her office, utterly distraught and broken. We watch as she shreds her resignation letter with a 1,000-yard stare. No Disney for her. The flames that she has been wearing this entire episode begin to symbolize more and more the hot pan that she's found herself in, surrounded by forces attempting to burn her out and destroy her. Season 4, Episode 4. Although she's been dismissed from every sense of importance at Vought, she's technically still allowed to be in the boardroom when they have the meetings and briefings. So we do see Ashley as a silent observer first in this episode. Ashley looks like she just strutted off of the Barbie Dreamhouse set, wearing a matching two-piece suit of a bubblegum pink and matching stilettos. Her jacket has over-accentuated shoulder pads and a deep V-neck, giving it a very powerful silhouette. She has a tasteful silk blue undershirt, as well as giant pink heart earrings. She's fabulous, dare I say. But more specifically, this outfit is giving the impression like, hey, everything's hunky-dory. This look is especially cheery to counterbalance the fact that everything is crumbling around her. She once again is clinging to the power of a look, of keeping the appearance that everything is okay in order to manifest that. We first see her address the public on the news in an official statement. So she's still the voice of Vought, even if she is a puppet just reading lines, she at least still has a use. She knows that the worst is yet to come. Later on in the episode, we see Ashley yet again, this time in Homelander's personal room. She is caught by A-Train, who is there to steal some Compound V, but he then genuinely questions, what is she doing here? Because she was already here. So he does a quick little turn about the room and discovers that she has followed through with Cameron's advice and left a floater in his toilet. A-Train laughs, losing his shit, and Ashley tries to deny it, but, A-Train's not buying it, calls her pathetic, and tells her that, I could tell Homelander, but then in return, Ashley's like, well, I caught you stealing V. This is now a moment of unexpected opportunity for an alliance. A-Train initiates, saying, looks like we both have a problem, because they've now reached an impasse. They now have equal-ish dirt on each other. Ashley, a little bit stunned, agrees with him with a look that is crying out for help. Ashley, blink twice, babe! And thus, an unbelievable, circumstantial alliance forms between Ashley and A-Train, all because Ashley decided to take a shit in Homelander's toilet and not flush it. They both desperately need this alliance because they both work in a very dangerous work zone dictated by the all-knowing, terrifying Homelander and his lackeys. Episode 5, we don't see Ashley until about halfway through the episode, where she is wearing this fabulous two-piece set of blazer and slacks, and it's very 70s. So she has this black background on it with these gold and yellow wavy vertical stripes, over-accentuating lapels that give her a very powerful stance, It seems to be a repeating trend for her. And also these huge diamond-shaped gold hoops that I love. So this is like the height of her fashion era, Like every look is overpronounced and in your face, almost like she's trying to overcompensate her deservance to even be there, that she still has status and power, almost like she's trying to convince herself. Her undershirt is very low cut, exposing more cleavage than usual, adding to an overall very dominating, feminine-driven look. She approaches Cameron, the news anchor, at the buffet to ask him why he popped out his Bluetooth anal beads. He then sort of says, I was, giving the news and doing a speech, and she sort of gives a very dismissive, foul-mouthed comment, per usual, but to ask that of him without really respecting his boundaries alludes to the fact that Ashley may be abusing the only outlet of control left in her life, which is sexually dominating over others. Cameron then proceeds to dump her. Oh my god, the sub-dumping the dom. Where have we ever heard of such a thing? But he says that the power dynamic was hot when Ashley had legitimate power. He sees her current situation and says that she is basically worthless now in the eyes of the Seven. She is extremely, understandably, offended by this and has been virtually abandoned now by Vought altogether, now being insulted by those around her when she's the one used to dealing out the insults. With Cameron now gone, her very last outlet of control in her life, her sexual relationships with others, has now been stripped away. Later in the episode, we see Ashley backstage at a Vought Comic-Con in which Tech Knight is giving a speech. She is then approached by A-Train, who tells her very quickly and quietly, don't look at me and pretend that we're not talking. Love it when conversations start like that. So he then tells her, hey, I think that maybe we should help each other. Once again, trying to initiate this alliance he wants to formulate. And without really waiting for a proper response, he then dumps the info on her that he's the leak and you gotta help me. So she's like, bruh, she starts to crash out saying, I gotta tell Homelander. He's like, I'll tell her about the floater. And she's like, he won't kill me over a floater. And he's like, oh, you don't think? Now, obviously, in this moment, A-Train is the one who needs this alliance way more than Ashley does, but it could very quickly be the other way around. Ashley takes this to heart and realizes that A-Train is probably serious, so she follows through. Later that night, we see another scene take place in which Ashley, out of revenge for Cameron dumping her, is the one that takes the fall for being the leak, as per arranged by Ashley. She set him up and framed it so that it would be, supposedly obvious that he's the leak, and he is quickly disposed of. She looks on from the sidelines with a smirk of regained power. In this moment, Ashley is simultaneously getting revenge and also throwing them off of A-Train's scent for being the leak. The next episode takes place at Tech Knight's mansion, where he is hosting a political dinner party to discuss Soups being integrated into the military. Ashley walks in looking like a tall drink of water, like a pitcher of water. Ashley is wearing this floor-length, wine-colored satin gown with accentuating lapels and shoulder pads, perfectly on brand for her, with these beautiful, large, dangling ruby stone earrings. I'm getting worked up. Her makeup. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Ashley almost never has very noticeable makeup looks. For this look, she has garnered a blush sort of eyeshadow that, oh my god, she looks amazing. So Ashley struts in like she owns the place, completely unfazed by Sage, who approaches her to admonish her about how, I thought we talked about how you're not invited to the grown-up table anymore. But without missing a beat, Ashley, in her face, says, oh, I thought you knew everything. Tech Knight invited me. We go way back. Fucking tell her, Ashley. So Sage is, taken aback for a second, because she didn't know that. And we will come to understand why. Later on in the episode, after some shenanigans with the boys, so they're trying to infiltrate Tech Knight's, mansion, and the whole episode, it's a parody of him being Batman, right? But not a bat cave. A bat sex dungeon, in which Tech Knight is currently unknowingly sexually torturing Huey, who's pretending to be Webweaver, who I guess is a consenting partner to this kind of thing, but they don't know that, so they think that Huey's Webweaver, and Huey's about to get a front row seat to Ashley's particular sexual nature. Because who comes descending down the elevator to join the party but Ashley Barrett, looking like $1,000,000 in her red gown. She greets Tech Knight as an old friend. They hug and then make out. It appears that they seem to be dom sex freak friends, and they're very close. Obviously. Tech Knight tells Ashley that he has left a present for her in the dressing room, and he says, no, it's not scat. Ashley! Holy shit. Okay, so, alright, that's about the arena that we're in, just to buckle up and get ready for whatever's about to come. But lo and behold, what Tech Knight has left for Ashley in that dressing room was not a hot pile of shit, but in fact, a full leather dominatrix bodysuit that had me on the floor. She looks amazing. It's long sleeves, very sharp shoulders like she likes, dipping down to the cleavage, a nice little buckle vertical stripe. It is shorts, but also leather over the knee boots. She's taken off her earrings. Okay, she means business. She's at work. So it's a broken record at this point that Ashley is very associative when it comes to what she wears. She puts on different things to associate different personalities. We've seen this dominatrix to clothes before when she changed purposefully into her big dominatrix leather boots in her office when she was performing sex work with Cameron. She had to put that part of her personality on her. So I truly think that even though we've seen her perform these sexual deviancies outside with her normal business wear, I feel like she gets into the true zone when she puts on what she feels inside. And in the zone she is, okay? She snaps into her Dom mother form as she unknowingly demeans and sexually humiliates Huey, who is pretending to be Webweaver. So she thinks this is all consensual. She says some filthy, unmentionable shit to Huey, and who is forced to take it and not say anything, you know, because he's undercover. But it's about to get a lot harder to pretend for him. Ashley's got a feather on a stick. It's about to get real when Huey cracks. He attempts to put a stop to it by saying, like, "Uncle, like, please stop." Ashley immediately recoils, demonstrating her personal value towards consent. So I think it's important to mention, since BDSM seems to be a huge part of Ashley's personal life, it's important to note that it is extremely driven through control and agreement between partners. So it's not like Ashley takes joy in hurting people who don't want to be hurt. It's like a sort of sexual perversion, but the control of the safe word is everything, which Huey doesn't know, but they think he does, because I guess they've done this with Webweaver before, so they have a safe word, but he doesn't know what it is. Huey has no choice but to guess, as he attempts to throw out words that associate with Spider-Man, the hero that Webweaver is a parody of, but he can't hit the mark, so he's just like, it's fine, you know. Ashley proceeds cautiously, but thinks that she's established consent.
Zendaya. The safe word. It was Zendaya.
Now, I will not repeat or even allude to what Ashley did with Huey, to Huey, but it's not good. Not good at all. So Huey gets, oh boy. Huey gets the short end of the stick on this mission as he deals with that. Ashley finishes and then makes out with Tech Knight. This seems to be like a very personal sexual deviancy. Them making out that frequently leads me to believe that they've like been intimate for a very long time. Ashley, on top of the world with her bestie, then gets dressed and returns to the party as if nothing happened. But we learn exactly the effects that this has had upon Huey at, I believe, the end of the episode, when he spills and confides in Starlight that he got assaulted, demeaned by Ashley specifically. Like, now he has this specific association with Ashley.
She said so many horrible things.
God. Huey, what else did she do to you?
It appears that Huey has suffered true psychological damage from this experience, and this is just a taste of what Ashley can offer. Season 4, Episode 7. Now, I can say with joy in my heart that this episode is primarily dedicated, it seems, to Ashley and her character progression. A lot happens for her in this episode in particular. We first see her in the main 7 meeting room, where she's giving a presentation to Homelander and Ashley when Sage walks in saying, "I thought this meeting started at 11, and they say, "We moved it up." So they specifically started without her. They have a tense exchange of looks, which Ashley does not catch, and she just continues to prattle with her presentation. Ashley is wearing a matching jacket and skirt of this like embroidered, like it's such like a rich fabric, like you can almost feel it, like you can see what it feels like, and these like lovely flower and leaf ornamentations. It's primarily like blue and black in tone, winter tones, and I love it. She's got those signature lapels, you know, she's on brand, and she's got like bedazzled heels. Homelander interrupts her and is like, "Ashley, get the fuck out." He like says it like it's so obvious. Like, can you not see what's going on? You know, she gets really swept up in these like campaigns that she does. She's very focused on her job. So, you know, she just accepts this and runs out of the room. Also, it's Christmas time. They let you know that, you know, there's lots of decorations around the office. So I guess it's the month of December. Later in the episode, we see Ashley yet again in her office. And this next scene is perhaps the most vulnerable we have ever seen Ashley. She has shed her blazer, her physical armor, and is left with her undershirt, which we see is not a normal tank top, but a single strap tank top. The first shot of her, there's so much skin, more skin than perhaps we've ever seen on her. It reflects the idea that she's shed her armor and is at her core a human being who's currently scared shitless and mourning simultaneously two different people who were very close to her in her life all at once. There's Cameron, the Vought news anchor, her sub, that she had killed after he dumped her. She felt the need to turn on him when she was backed into a corner by A-Train to cover up for him being the leak. She had to produce someone to take the fall, so she chose Cameron. Cameron was then executed. And now, Tech Knight, one of her closest, very intimate friends, we've seen just how intimate they are with one another, who was killed not moments after she left him in the basement. So she feels personally responsible for that death as well. Perhaps she feels that her mere presence in both of their lives got them killed. And this next scene is incredibly powerful on Colby's performance. At that moment, A-Train enters her office to talk to her about the leak. He asks her where her assistant Gregory is, and she callously, dismissively tells him that, you know, he got her lunch order wrong, so she fired him. And A-Train tries to celebratory tell her that they don't think that he's the leak. You did it. Thank you. And she absolutely is not having it. She says, A-Train, I don't want to fucking hear it, and just tells him to get out. A-Train notes that, are you faced at 11 a.m.? Ashley tells him that, yes, I am, and I'm still CEO, and I can do that if I want to. This is a lie that she's telling herself and a coping mechanism. A-Train tries to leave, but Ashley actively stops him by gently grabbing his arm and hurriedly admitting, almost like she's actively breaking down, that she fired Gregory, even though that he's the best assistant she's ever had, just to get him away from this place before he ends up dead. She personally believes that anybody close to her will eventually end up dead. She has reasons to believe this, as we've now seen the deaths of Cameron, Tech Knight, and also Annika, all within quick succession. So she is now utilizing perhaps the only power that she has left as CEO by firing as many people as possible just to save their lives. Ashley is now fully recognizing the hostage situation of being an employee at Vought. She continues to break down, whispering to him that she had Cameron killed, that she killed him. A-Train reminds her that he's only alive. You saved my life by doing that. Ashley says something in return that is incredibly human. I could have done it some other way. He didn't have to die. It's so easy to become a monster around here. Ashley is at the end of her rope, backed into a corner, and feels like all of her allies are being picked off one by one. She begs A-Train to flee the country with her and perhaps go to Florence, where she studied abroad for a year. I don't blame her. Florence is awesome. Ashley is frantically searching for a way out, for an escape button. A-Train frantically is like, oh my god, Ashley, and like does anything short of slapping her. Like he shakes her shoulders and is like, Ashley, you cannot be shit-faced, running your mouth, you're talking crazy, button it up. This was a brutal reality check that Ashley desperately needed, perhaps paying back what she did for him before. I think that Ashley and A-Train, but especially Ashley, are relishing in this newfound alliance in which they can truly be honest with one another because they're actually on the same side for once. After telling her to get it together, A-Train then leaves her in her office, where she then continues to process this. Later in the episode, however, Ashley, who appears to still be drunk, enters her office once again, where she then asks Alexa,
Alexa, play Dave Matthews Chill Mix.
Alexa, please f***ing don't.
The f***, A-Train?
Alexa, please f***ing don't. A-Train then appears to tell her very hurriedly that the gig is up. They know I'm the leak. Ashley immediately was like, oh my god, do they know I'm in on it too? No. They don't know it's you. It's just me. But guess what? Your idea earlier, Florence? Get a ticket, baby. I will run us across water like Dash from The Incredibles. We're going to Florence. And he then continues to be like, let's do your plan. Let's flee the country. In an absolutely incredible moment of acting, not only from Colby, but Ashley's character as well, we see a flurry of thoughts and emotions happen. She processes the options before her. She can turn and run. She can flee, run, just the way that A-Train always has. Or she could recognize the situation she's in, utilize the power that she still has, and stand her ground. Also, A-Train, what a hypocritical bitch. Literally, maybe 4 hours ago, she just asked if you wanted to flee the country, and you're like, get it together, and now you're all ears for it? Whatever, A-Train. It's also important to note that earlier, A-Train confronted MM, who was about to run away with his family, to get them far away from it. And he told MM that you can't run away from this. It'll just follow you. Blah, 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 blah. Now he's doing exactly the same thing! Ashley approaches this proposition with light in her eyes. This is what she has always wanted. And yet, resolution takes its place. She knows that this isn't something that she can run from. She tells him resolutely that I can't. 2 words to embody thousands of words of meaning. A-Train doesn't flinch. He's like, okay, suit yourself, and is about to leave. Ashley stops him. Don't forget to cut out your chip. I guess they have chips, like lost dogs. Ashley remains safe in this situation because A-Train didn't reveal her involvement with his leakness. So she chooses to stay. She reels back after he leaves and sits with the finality of her decision. She glances at a framed photo of her at a very young age, living her best life in Florence, the dream that she has now given up. She mourns this by crying softly and recognizing the future that lies before her. I think that this particular moment in Ashley's character development is by far one of the most important. She, in this scene, recognizes her power for what it is. She's a human being, a human, at the highest level of the inside of Vought. She has access to all the mechanisms of the company and has current immunity. She is perhaps one of the most pivotal tools to take down Vought, aka Homelander, from the inside. And in this moment, she is a captain not abandoning her post. There is a strength within Ashley's character that displays itself consistently throughout the series, and we're about to see the results of her decision. Later in the episode, we see Ashley at a film set, of course. This time it's Ryan who's doing this like Sesame Street like puppet thing, kinda. But it's to promote like turning in your friends and loved ones to Vought if they oppose Vought. So Ryan doesn't love this and calls "Don't cut to commercial" to Ashley, which is an allusion to, the Homelander birthday episode, how he again was like, Ashley, don't you dare cut. Like father, like son. Ashley is affronted by this, but also in somewhat of awe of Ryan perhaps showing goodness in Vought. What? The season 4 finale, people, okay? Ashley has a couple looks for this episode. First and foremost, we see just a little glimpse of her. In fact, such a small glimpse, and we never see this fit again. It makes me question what's going on here, because I would have given quite a bit of money to see extended footage of this outfit. Ashley, in this very short glimpse, the shortest I think we've ever seen of an outfit of hers, which adds to the fact of how ostentatious it is. She's wearing a pink glitter, super sharp lapelled blazer, also a black glitter undertank. Completely unnecessary. Glitter on glitter is like, whoa, okay? And on top of that, she's wearing triple gemstone dangle earrings. This look is like in your face. It is over the top and very on brand with the looks that have developed up to this point. But for such a small glimpse, I think it's like meant to tell us something. Something about her over-expressing herself through her outfits to make up for the power that she lacks in her life. This is becoming a noticeable trend. This mindset carries over to her official finale look. Okay, so she is a molten gold monster. She's wearing a matching blazer and pantsuit of like this textured fabric. It's like scaly, like a lizard. She's a gold lizard. And the lapels are crazy. They're way too much. So this whole outfit is screaming too much. It's screaming glitter, shine, I'm important. Please think I'm important. On top of that, she's wearing like a gold undershirt and very large gold earrings. Okay, so this outfit is way over the top, and that is for a reason. Now, I do want to give a quick shout out to Beta Ashley. Okay, Beta Ashley in the background has also been doing her own thing. She's accustomed to Ashley's style and seems to have adjusted her own wardrobe to complement it. I want to give a shout out to her outfit in this. She's wearing a matching white like blazer and pantsuit of like this lovely koi fish. Like she has this koi fish fit on, and if I saw that like in real life, I'd be like, love that. This is emulating Ashley's typical style, animal featurettes and matching jacket and pantsuits. You know, Ashley imitates Ashley. Ashley and Ashley are behind the set of an interview of Homelander and Victoria Newman. So Homelander then goes off script and starts to go AWOL, and the Ashleys exchange a look. They know shit's about to hit the fan. Homelander then exposes Victoria for being a soup live on air by like lasering her head and nothing happens. So oh my gosh. So Homelander just blows this can wide open and is like, F it. Gets rid of all of the leverage he had against her. So Ashley is like, oh, f. And other Ashley runs off in fear, understandably. This is crazy. Homelander, like himself, walks away from the confrontation, away from consequences, and Victoria Newman then reminds him that if you want to take over, you'll have to arrest half the country. Homelander's like, yeah, I knew that. I love Anthony Starr. So this next part happens like that. It happens very quickly, but it's important to note everything that happens during it. So Homelander struts away from the set of everything he just did and says, Ashley, on me. So he's used to Ashley always being at his disposal, always at his side. And he's right. Ashley is right at his side. She tells him in her usual mode that, social media responses are mixed. He ignores this and tells her that he needs a list of every single employee at Vought that has any sort of damaging information on him or the Seven. And he needs this yesterday, okay? So he orders this very confrontationally to Ashley. Ashley immediately was like, yes, sir, of course, I'll get it for you right away. Homelander is running out of options, and in light of Ashley's reliability, he offers even the slightest scrap of praise, which she deserves 1,000 times over, but for him, for a complete psychopath, this is huge for her. He says, "You're a good girl," almost like a pet. This is the praise from Homelander that Ashley deserves 1,000 times over for all of the messes she's cleaned up, for everything that she's done for him. Ashley is taken aback by this praise that she coveted so much, and yet she knows that it's a red herring. If she believes that Homelander gives one single shit about her, she's dead wrong, and she recognizes this. If she takes this praise in exchange for a list of thousands of Vought employees to be murdered, then she will have abandoned completely all her moral values and become nothing but a tool for Homelander to use until he is done with her. She has a crazy ultimatum that she has to face head on. Ashley, Beta Ashley, says, "That's not good." Ashley says, "Yeah, no shit, Ashley." So they both know that people are gonna die today. Later, however, we see Ashley hand over this list to Homelander of all the employees to basically kill, and she says comedically that, we've highlighted the employees that have a severance payout contract, and he gives her a look like, girl, and he says, "Great job, you're excused." Like a little girl, like a servant. And this is in exchange for her doing a monstrous deed to assist in his nefarious plan. She is complicit. Once he says this, Firecracker meanly closes the large doors that seal off that room for the rest of the building. Ashley notices this, gives her like a look, and then scoots her boot to make it just in the nick of time. Little did she know, if she hadn't made that, she would not have left that room alive. But she doesn't know this quite yet. Homelander covers the plan. He says that at the end of the day, that Rob Singer will be dead. Victoria Newman will be sworn in as the first super-abled president, and there will be, protests to this, in which the Supes will then completely take care of by surrounding the White House and the Pentagon, etc., etc. Basically, the Supes are now going to take over the United States. Homelander continues by saying that everyone on this list has dirt on Vought and needs to be terminated. Then the Deep asks a very important question. Well, if this is a list of people who have dirt on us, wouldn't Ashley's name be at the top of the list? Ashley, right outside, listening in, hears this and realizes her situation. This is emergency go time for Ashley. This is the moment that she has been preparing for. She is finally at the end of the rope of her usefulness and is now being disposed of by the Seven, something she always knew would eventually be coming. But in a moment of adrenaline-fueled realization, she realizes what she has to do. We see her sprinting like her life depends on it, because it does. We see this awesome shot of her silhouetted by the statue of A-Train. Girl, run! And in her heels too, she's been training for this. She busts into Homelander's room, finds that V. Oh, and how does she know where that is? A-Train, her busting A-Train, so she knew where the V would be. She extracts a vial of V, puts it into a syringe. Ashley, no! Peels her blazer off in a flurry, like she's peeling off her armor, and she gets ready to plunge this chemical into her human flesh. She takes a moment of pause, a beat. There is no coming back from this. She's been backed into a corner, and she makes her decision. She puts that V right into her bloodstream, baby. We're about to see Super Ashley, okay? Oh, she takes it and pauses. At first, nothing happens. But then suddenly, her body folds in excruciating pain. Her body contorts, and her wig falls off, her scalp bubbling and boiling with some kind of super-abled something. She is grotesque. She is metamorphosizing. She has sacrificed the human part of herself to something extreme and unknown in order to potentially save her own life. But then we cut to Ashley being dead right about this as we see the Deep, Black Noir, and Firecracker systematically going throughout the building and killing anybody on that list. Unfortunately, Beta Ashley is among the victims. Black Noir confused her for the other Ashley. Apparently she wasn't on the list. A absolute true cliffhanger. The only thing that was on my mind when I left this season, I was like, I want to see show me Ashley. Ashley has climbed the corporate ladder throughout her pure humanity, pure dedication to her position, and pure badassery has made it this far. And now, when she was truly left with no other options, she had the balls to take that vial of V to become a new Ashley. An Ashley that we will be introduced to in season 5, which premieres in April of 2026. So, I will come to break this down for you people, okay? And I'm sure that there are more outfits to follow, but she's all that's on my mind, really. We have concluded season 4, which was very interesting and very evolutionary for Ashley's character. We will come to see the results of this and the subsequent events in season 5. If you like this video and would like to see me make more, feel free to hit that like button or subscribe so Mr. YouTube knows that I'm not just spitting gibberish. If you want to throw money in my hat or support me, I have a Patreon as well as a Ko-fi. The future is bright for Ashley, a now super abled CEO. We will see where this path takes her. One can only imagine the fits that she will be adorned with. But until then, I'm Maeve, the human, truly, no V in my system, and signing off until the next video. See you guys.
I just wanted to say thanks. I'm glad you came along. Partner, I want to sing a song just for you. 'Cause you're my special friend.